We welcome you inside the Williamson Athletic Center here in Saratoga Springs, New York. Rana DeCrow, Cam Manna with you for some Liberty League women's hoops on this Saturday afternoon. We've got the Ithaca College Bombers facing off against the Skidmore Thoroughbreds. And Cam, man, I think we have a treat in front of us. These two teams, the last 4 times they've met, Skidmore has handled them. But you look at a team like Ithaca, who's having a lot of success this season, kind of a rivalry matchup that's been brewing the last couple years. It means a little bit more between these two.
And Coach Raymond talked about how his team knows this game is personal, what Skidmore has done against the Bombers over the last 4 matchups. But you can look at 2 matchups in particular. You can look at last year, semifinal round in the Liberty League tournament right here in Saratoga Springs. Skidmore wins a battle that goes to overtime. And you look at a year prior, Liberty League championship game, Skidmore winning that game in the Bombers' home gym. So those 2 games is where kind of that bad blood comes from. 2 of the top teams in the conference looking to find their way. And a lot of the players that are still here in these 2 programs know what this matchup means and know how close and gritty battles these 2 teams bring together.
But Cam, when you look at the puzzle of this Skidmore team, a massive piece is missing out of it this year. The reigning Liberty League Player of the Year and Defensive Player of the Year, the first Skidmore athlete to ever do that, Julia Blanc. She is in Vermont right now playing Division I basketball. She will obviously not play in this game, but a huge piece they're going to have to fill.
Phenomenal player, an All-American, so dominant down low. She had the and one last year in overtime that really sealed the game against the Bombers. And you look at without Jessica Turner as the head coach, without her for her first season, they go to a new helm here and really a new program. And what Turner brought was this recruiting class. This is really Jessica Turner's team. And we'll talk about it a lot on this broadcast, but now them finding a new identity.
Well, your starters out here on the floor for the Bombers, they're wearing their navy uniforms with the gray striping and the white lettering. As for the Thoroughbreds, white jerseys with gray stripes and gray lettering, black accents. Your starters for the Thoroughbreds, Emmy Plage as well as Cassie Davidson, Sarah Chambers, and Madison Meyer and Claudia Schneider. It'll be Schneider and Yorio on the tip-off. The starters on the floor for Ithaca, Yorio, Iqbal Seda, Wait, Meka, and Yorio. That's been their rotation so far. Here's Iqbal Seda early on from deep. That one just rings off short. Meka has the offensive rebound in the quarter. Bombers swing it around the horn. Iqbal Seda looks for Meka on the near side. Meka trying to find someone overhead back to Iqbal Seda. Now here's Watkins at the low block. Watkins off to Iqbal Seda. Finds Wait wide open beyond the arc. She hits that one, and the Bombers are up early, 3-0.
Wait, right around 30% from deep. Bombers had a lot of struggles early last night against RPI from downtown. A good start.
4 for 22 the Bombers were yesterday against RPI. Getting that 3-ball going early is going to be important. Here's Davidson with a triple try. Drains it. Exchanging blows early here. Here's Iqbal Seda moving quick in transition. Yorio at the high block, a hook shot, and that one's off the glass and in. 5-2 Ithaca with 9 minutes to go.
A lot of these matchups usually low scoring. Bombers were here in the regular season last year, just 26 points in that game.
Neither team in the last 4 matchups has scored over 66 points, but a couple early offensive blows coming in here early. Here's Cassie Davidson at the top of the key, hands it off for Schneider, who takes a long-range jumper, and now Chambers rips it off the glass. But Emma Wait will dispossess her and move it quick the other way. She's working towards the far side of the basketball court, now into the corner. Bounce pass over for Yorio on the far side elbow. Now here's Watkins, a quick pass, shovel off. She just missed that rebound, rips it away from Emmy Plage. Here's Libby Meka, long-range jumper, doesn't fall, and Watkins has the rebound again. Iqbal Seda will slow things down with 15 seconds on the shot clock. Hands it off for Wait. They'll play back and forth. Bounce pass into Watkins at the free throw stripe. She moves in on Chambers, and big shot doesn't fall. Skidmore moving the other way now. Here's Davidson. That one came off her foot. And they'll actually say it was off of the foot of Iqbal Seda, so Skidmore basketball.
And Skidmore caught a life on that last possession. The Bombers just multiple offensive rebounds.
Here's Madison Meyer, who was on the inbound. She hands it off to Emmy Plage. Plage now for Schneider. Trying to work in on Watkins. Turns and fires. She can't hit. Keeps it 5-3 with about 7:45 to go as Yorio stops her dribble before the half court. Plage was hounding her. Now Wait on the far side. Working towards the center of the court. Bombers swing it around the horseshoe. Finds Watkins on the interior. Back out. Wait, tries to work in on Schneider. Jumper doesn't fall, it's just short off the left of the hoop. Looks like a foot out of bounds by Emma Wade as she tried to get the basketball. So Skidmore ball, and the Bombers will be on the press here.
And outside of that first possession on the Waite three, the Bombers just having a lot of trouble in the interior trying to penetrate against Skidmore.
Here's Cassie Davidson. There is a little bit of a size mismatch here. 4 players on this Skidmore roster above 6 feet as Meyer tries to huck up a mid-range jumper. That one doesn't fall, and Watkins and Chambers are tied up with the ball. It'll be a jump ball. Possession narrow in favor of the Thoroughbreds.
And that size difference is going to play a factor too, especially with this rotation for the Bombers when Zoraida and Emma Waite are on the floor together.
McCarthy on the inbound. She'll take it all the way around the line and just go right up through Main Street and on the glass. Ties it up at 5. Under 7 minutes to go, and Skidmore, they're in the press. They've been doing that all year, kind of their specialty. They lead the league in turnovers for a reason. Now here's Maka, the bounce pass to Yorio on the interior, and she banks it in.
Really good drive inside, and Yorio being able to go straight up with that basketball and not fading away from the rim.
Yorio, her 4th double-double of the year last night. 17 rebounds and 14 points, excuse me. She's been phenomenal these last couple games as well as Emmy Plage hits the floor. Bodied up Libby Maka and just lost her footing there, so Maka will pick up the foul. It's 7-5 with about 6.5 minutes remaining. Both of these teams gonna play physical early, both of their identities, and obviously that press defense from the Thoroughbreds can get incredibly frustrating early, so definitely have to keep yourself composed. Here's Davidson trying to work it in. Now hands it off for Plage, who works into the paint. Her shot off the glass is way long, and Junie Dixon, who just checked in, will bring it up. Ichabal setup. Rainbows a pass into Watkins, who finds Yorio on the far side corner. Yorio working in on Schneider, works all the way around her, can't get her bank shot to fall, but Watkins swats the rebound away and into her hands. Bombers still with the ball. Here's Dixon from 3. She can't hit.
Strong open shot there, though, for Dixon. Open look.
So it'll be Meyer to bring it up again. Meyer, the bounce pass to Chambers on the inside. She can't get her hands on it, but it falls back into Meyer's hands. Now here's Schneider working into the interior. She tries to go up for the shot, and she's pushed behind the back by Ichabal Seda.
Yeah, Zoraida kind of got beat to her backside, had to kind of try to save herself, almost was piggyback riding Schneider down low. Bombers back to their bench too here. They're bringing Maddie Gill for Watkins, so now Yorio, that true rebounder, on the floor.
Like we said, Yorio last night was 17 rebounds. That was a season high for her. She's kind of not had to focus on the rebound considering Anya Watkins has been so outstanding as Schneider nails her first free throw, so it's 7-6. Bombers still with the lead. Schneider shooting 76% from the stripe this season. Nails her second as well, so Schneider has 2 points to show from 2 free throws and ties us up at 7. Thoroughbreds in the press, and they get a turnover, a steal, and as Davidson tries to throw it off, that one goes in and goes out and is batted out of bounds. Bombers will get a reset just underneath the Skidmore basket.
Strong play down low, and that's going to be a lot of aggression. The rebound battle is going to tell a lot in this game.
Bombers moving from left to right as they work it over the logo. Here's Gill all alone on the corner, 3 right through. Instead, they'll call that just inside that 3-point line. It'll be a 2. So 9-7, Bombers with the lead, 5 minutes to go here. Here's Severino. Hands it off for Davidson. Davidson working to the free throw line. Now around here's Plage, straight through traffic and a jump ball. Yorio got enough hands on it.
Strong job there from Yorio, just clogging the lane towards that left side and being able to have a knack and an eye for the basketball.
It'll be Meyer on the inbound again.
Looks like the refs just made a mistake. One ref had to correct the other one on the possession arrow.
Bomber basketball correction after the refs have a conversation, and Dixon is on the inbound. She turns it over trying to find Ichabal Seda, and Libby Maka is forced to foul Davidson. This press is going to get really frustrating for the Bombers if they can't get it out of their own zone. Here's Meyer on the inbound. She finds Schneider. Back to Meyer. They hand it off. She works to the free throw stripe. Turning on Libby Maka. Throws up the hook shot, and it falls in. 9-9 with 4.5 minutes to go, and the Skidmore Thoroughbred team, another steal on the Bombers. Dixon gets it off the rebound and takes it all the way the other way, trying to go coast to coast. Dishes it off to Gill, and she's got it off the glass.
Gill's ability to just move from coast to coast, had that three or that long two before, and to find herself on the right block on that separation.
Maddie Gill with 2 games in a row with 10 or more points. She's now got 4 tonight. Here's Schneider. Thoroughbreds working it around the horn. Plage tries to go for a baseline drive. She's turned away by Yorio.
Such a strong block there from Yorio down low, hands straight up. She's had a knack for it so far.
Thoroughbreds get the inbound, and it'll be Severino. Severino, the junior, experienced rotation out here on the floor for the Thoroughbreds. Rebound Dixon, and Ithaca will work it the other way. Dixon to the near side for Gill. They're passing it back and forth, trying to find an open look on the interior. Now here's Gill. Gill back to Ika Balsetta on the far side. Here's Yorio, a long corner two. It doesn't fall, and it'll be Meyer with the rebound. Her and Ika Balsetta fighting for it. Here's Davidson from 3. That one just long, but rings in and out and in. So Skidmore pulling back with the lead, 12-11 with about 3 minutes and 22 seconds to go, and Dan Raymond needs a timeout.
And the second three for Davidson got a nice bounce there. Front rim, back rim, top of the backboard, rolled in. Both sides working in transition extremely well right now. That's where the points have come from. And that's what both these teams do extremely well. Skidmore, top in steals. You look at both these teams, top 3 in turnover margin. They love to move the other way with a lot of speed.
Yeah, both of these teams working really quick in transition, and more so this Skidmore defense under the guide of first-year head coach David Bostic. They've been really buying into this press defense, and it's showing up in the numbers. Obviously, this is a very different team from last year when you don't have the Liberty League Player of the Year to bail you out all the time. You have to find ways to contribute, and one of those key contributors who's been Sarah Chambers, the senior, has kind of filled that role for Julia Blanc. As we're back underway here underneath the timeout, it's Bomber basketball, and an off-ball foul from Madison Meyer on Zoraida Ikabalsetta will stop the play.
It looked like Myers, a quick lower of the shoulder. Her and Zoraida exchanging some words as well. You can kind of just feel that this intensity is not just a January regular season game.
That Skidmore defense can become frustrating. It can be hard to keep your composure as Dixon finds Maka at the top of the key, and Meyer gets her hands on it, jump ball, and this time it'll be a Thoroughbreds.
Just a really good possession there from Meyer. The foul before, and then that basketball for the Bombers, it can't be at shin level. It's going to be an easy jump ball opportunity for Skidmore.
You want to talk about pace of play, this Skidmore team will make sure that they're conditioned enough to keep up with you no matter who you are. Here's Schneider on the far side. Yorio takes out her legs and gets the basketball back for the Bombers as Yorio was facing the other way. Ika Balsetta tried to find her moving down the high post. Here's Emmy Plage now. Right into the paint, and she's fouled by Yorio. Trying to work in for the layup.
Plage does a good job faking right, going left, and keeps the ball as far as she can from her body. So Yorio kind of has to reach around her body and forces Yorio to pick up a foul and come out of the game.
Emmy Plage, the senior, 5'9", and averaging about 6.4 points a game. One of those leading scorers. No Skidmore player on this team has averaged more than 10 points. It's more so of a full team effort for them as Plage nails her first free throw there. That'll be her first point of the night. Makes it a 13-11 game. Second one goes down, and Skidmore's up by a three-pointer. Dixon can't find anyone on the inbound. Finally, she's got Maka. Make a rainbows one to Wait. She finally works it over the timeline. Bounce pass to Watkins, who's on the low block. She throws up a shot and is blocked by Schneider. Schneider, second on the team in blocks, does it incredibly well. So it'll be Amelia Medola who's just checked in. The only other player with a Liberty League nod on the special teams last year. She was honorable mention. Here's Levitz now, who just checked in. The 3-ball shooter that ended Ithaca's run in the playoffs last year is Medola. Hucks up a 3, that one short off the iron. Dixon, a long pass to Gill. Gill works towards the baseline, jump shot, and a charging foul. Just kind of lowered the shoulder into Emmy Plage as she tried to get back and planted her feet.
And Gill almost two shoulder bumps, and that second one is what forces the call.
Dixon dove for that one on the inbound. Emmy Plage trying to find Medola. You remember Junie Dixon here in this gym last time was trying so hard out there on the floor. Hit the hardwood and then was out for the rest of the season as Levitz finds Schneider on the inside. Her layup is too strong. She takes a mid-range jumper and that one goes down. So 16-11, Skidmore extends the lead. Dixon works it the other way towards the far side. Dribbles back to her right and has Wait almost at the Skidmore logo. Bombers play keep away as they swing it around. Here's Gill on the far side. Finally Watkins on the interior, but manages to get Maka, and Maka's foul.
Now a little bit of that zone for Skidmore. The Bombers have to pass out of it and work a little bit inside out. You find Wait there out in the perimeter. You work into Micah and try to move around the other way. But the Bombers right now having a lot of trouble even doing that because once it gets to the interior, they're just bottled up.
Multiple Skidmore defenders just crashing that paint area, playing that zone defense incredibly well right now. Drevna just checked in on the inbound. Here's Dixon underneath the basket. Mid-range jumper doesn't go. Now here's Wait from 3. That one just long off the back iron, and Levitz has the rebound. Schneider down the high post now. She can't hit. And a scramble of bodies on the floor. Junie Dixon comes up with the ball. Dixon moving down the center of the court. Hands it off for Wait. Dixon calling for motion from Gill. Now finds Wait on the near side. Wait on the wing. Hands it off for Dixon. Now here's Drevna. You see the Bombers do this in warm-ups all the time. They're making it work. Here's Gill from the free throw line. She's just long. A minute to go here inside of the Williamson Athletic Center as Dixon gets the takeaway, and she's fouled by Schneider.
Almost a really good foul there from Schneider. Dixon had an easy layup to her left, and Schneider just stuck her hand out to kind of grab Dixon's jersey just for a second to slow it down. But the Bombers still having just extreme trouble with this zone and just perimeter passing with no penetration.
The Skidmore team known for their defense as Watkins gets the inbound. Drevna can't hit on the easy jumper. She was about 5 feet away from the basket. And here comes Martinez the other way. Laser shoulder into Ichabal said as she planted her feet. It'll be another charging foul. You want to talk about this Ithaca team being physical as well as Skidmore last night against RPI. Not many fouls called in that first half. Finally, a couple coming in the second half. But this Bomber basketball team likes to play really physical. The refs haven't been giving them any space to do so far. Here's Emma Wait moving into the zone. Drevna from the corner 3, and she gets it. 16-14, Bombers with the lead as Medola slows it down as she walks over the Skidmore logo at half court. Bounce pass to Chambers, who just checked back in, and Levitz throws up a 3. She misses. Schneider one bounce, tries to go in on the layup, and she's fouled.
6th foul against the Bombers. You mentioned the referees kind of being a little bit more stingy with the foul calls, but this first quarter, just a lot of foul trouble for the Bombers. You lose 4 points at the free throw line. Ithaca is even yet to take a free throw.
That'll be Medola from the line, who was the one fouled on the shot. She misses her first. Medola, a 78% shooter from the stripe. She struggled this season, though. just 2.4 points a game. Remember, Liberty League honorable mention as Waite hucks up a 3 trying to beat the buzzer here in quarter number 1. And a 16-14 game, Ithaca trails the Thoroughbreds on the road. We're going to take a quick break, but we'll be right back here from the Williamson Athletic Center. Stay with us. Back here from the Williamson Athletic Center, Cam Manna, Rayanna DeCrow taking you through the whole way. Ithaca trails the Thoroughbreds 14-16 as we move into the second quarter. All the starters will be back on the floor aside from Tori Drevna, the sophomore who just checked in. Was that big three-point shooter for them last year, was taking notes from Cam Coffey. Hasn't been able to be super successful this year as the Bombers get back to work on offense. It's Watkins on the interior. She's at the low block guarded by Chambers, and Drevna's all alone in the paint. The bounce pass, she tries to get it to go off the glass, and it's long. 9 minutes and 42 seconds remaining here. Here's Martinez. The finger roll reverse layup can't fall, and Bombers turn it back the other way. A fast-paced game so far, 16-14. Not a whole lot of offense to show for it, just missed shots back and forth. Here's Drevna working on Martinez. She finds Waite on the far side wing. Waite for Watkins, almost misread the pass, and here's Drevna all alone for the 3 ball. She misses. Madola comes up with the rebound and works her team the other way. Here's Levitz all alone from 3. And the refs will call a travel there on her.
And on the other end, too, Dan Raymond talking to the refs, it looked like Micah under the hoop got absolutely tackled and brought down, and the Bombers wanted a foul there. They get the turnover either way.
Ichabod-Seta finds Waite on the inbound. She's guarded by Martinez. Martinez, the freshman, as Micah goes hard down Main Street. She can't hit the layup, and Levitz has the board. Madola works it the other way. Hands it off for Severino. Now back to Madola. Madola plants her feet and finds Martinez at the straightaway. Overhead pass for Chambers, and Libby Maka with the tricky hands, the wide open lay. She jumps up, and easy points for the Bombers. Ties it up at 16 with about 8.5 minutes to go here. Libby Maka, her first points of the evening, she's got 2. Struggled yesterday, one of her worst games of the season since she's emerged against Vassar. They had 22 in that game and has had 5 games with 10 or more since. Chambers hands it off for Martinez, who works around Chambers, and Waite bats it away. Waite has the ball. She passes it off for Watkins and then hands it off for Ichabod-Seta. Some good ball movement from the Bombers. Ichabod-Seta to Waite. Waite bounce pass to Micah on the interior. Her block shot is no good. Drevna bats it away from Madola. She tries to throw it again, and Drevna has the steal.
What a job there from Drevna.
Really good defense from the sophomore. She throws up a 3 and drains it. 19-16, Bombers have the lead back. This Ithaca team averaging about 59 points against the Skidmore Thoroughbreds all time. Trying to work their way past that mark. Levitz rainbows a pass to Chambers at the free throw line. Chambers hands it back off for Levitz, who's at the straightaway 3. She works down the high post, lays her shoulder into Ichabod-Seta, and another charging foul. Bombers doing a good job planting the feet.
8-0 run now for the Bombers. And Skidmore, they've been scoreless for the last 4 minutes. The Bombers just coming alive right now. That's the 3rd charge that they've drawn so far in this game. What a switch to begin the second quarter.
The first foul of the quarter, though, team's first as well, obviously. So Couple personals for Skidmore early here already, though. 4 in the first quarter and now 1 here in the second. Ikabalseta tries to turn and burn on Davidson. Hands it off for Dixon. Ikabalseta calls out plays at the straightaway and tries to find Yorio at the free throw stripe. That ball hit away. Chambers works it down the court now. Here's Davidson moving to her right side, now back to her left. Bounce pass for Meyer. Meyer to Severino. Severino bounce pass for Chambers, who turns and drives down the low block. It's Meyer now with it. 7 seconds on the shot clock. Meyer tries for the layup. She'll get it to go. 18-18, Bombers and Thoroughbreds tied. We knew this was going to be a close game. These teams know that it means more here. Bombers trying to find an open look as they swing it around. Here's Maka driving on the baseline, hits it off the glass. Yorio has the rebound. Here's Dixon all alone at the 3. She can't hit that one, just short. Couple of 3-ball tries too for the Bombers that just haven't fallen. Some open looks. Here's Plage on the interior. Her lay off the glass doesn't go.
And it almost seems like both teams have had trouble with the three-point line. There's 3 3-point lines in the court. That white one that's furthest from Ray and I's angle is the 3-point line, but both teams have had issues with it.
Here's Yorio now trying to work on Plage. She hands it off for Ikabalseta, who's all alone, but she doesn't go for the 3. She hands it off for Micah, who's on the high block. Micah now dribbles with it, almost loses it in the far side corner. 4 seconds on the shot clock. Dixon has a 3, drains it. 21-18 with about 5 minutes and 30 seconds to go here in quarter number 2.
And when you're that deep for Dixon, no trouble with the 3-point line. No doubt about that one.
Last year, this Skidmore team coming off a really good game, 73-41. They won last night against Vassar. So some confidence building, and for this Ithaca team coming off a game that you could argue is even more of a confidence builder, they pick up a 58-55 win over RPI last night. They were 4 for 22 from deep, but were down nearly the whole game. I think they ended up leading for just about 3 minutes, and all in the right period of time.
And that, too, for the Bombers, when you have a win like that where one team leads for about 33 minutes and you come back and win the game, it's one of those wins that it's probably one of the most powerful wins, and it just gives you so much confidence. Confidence the Bombers truly needed coming into a game like this against Skidmore.
Like we mentioned, this Skidmore team has owned the Bombers in the last 4 meetings, including a championship and a semifinal. Those ones are the ones that burn even more. Here's Meyer now, burning weight, and she's got the lay off the glass, 21-20. Bombers still with the lead here. Skidmore in the press, and Ikabalseta finds Dixon over the half-court line. Dixon, bounce pass for Ikabalseta. She goes back for Dixon. They're playing keep away. They just keep opting for each other. Now here's Micah. Baseline drive, lay off the glass is good, 23-20.
Ithaca's figured out this zone. Very, very quick passes, lack of dribbling, find the basket.
Ithaca 4th in the Liberty League in terms of assists is Meyer hucks up a 3, straight good. Ties us up at 23. Meyer, a 20% shooter from beyond the arc, but makes it in a big time spot there. She moves the ball the other way. Dribbles on her left side. Hands it off for Plage. Plage working to her left as well. At the straightaway. Now trying to work into the lane, and Schneider has the screen on Ikabalseta. She had an open look and missed it. And now Ikabalseta with the rebound. Wait for Ikabalseta, who hauls up the 3. That one just short. Batted away by Skidmore. They run into each other, and that ball goes out of bounds. It was Davidson and Levitz colliding underneath the basket, and that ball just rolls out of bounds.
Rebounding right now, Bombers 16, Skidmore 19. That 3-point lead in rebounds is why this game is still tied.
This Skidmore basketball team, 9th in the Liberty League in terms of rebounds, not something they do incredibly well. And you look at their stats, not one girl over that 6.5-point mark in terms of rebounding as Meyer gets the and one. 25-23 Skidmore, and the gym lights up.
Meyer's got 13, 6 for 7 from the floor, and it almost seemed like that Skidmore their whole entire bench wanted to slow things down. Meyer was in a zone where she knew that she was going to the basket the whole entire way.
Taking it all herself as she puts up the 3 and that one dead center. So 26-23, Skidmore with the lead. Both of these teams kind of the swing of the pendulum. Drevna on the far side, works to her right, has Micah on the high post. Jump shot is good. 26-25, Skidmore still with the lead as Meyer, that shooting guard, works it over the logo. To her right side is tied up by Dixon and Davidson. She works to the low block. Now hands it back out for Schneider just beyond the arc. On the far side, long-range jumper falls. 28-25, and this Skidmore team has become hot.
It almost seemed like the Bombers didn't expect a shot there. Lack of defense, and Skidmore taking the open mid-ranges.
They were doing that yesterday against RPI as well, as Micah moves into the paint, tries to find Yorio, who is on the low block, and Micah picks up a frustration foul.
Second foul on Micah, and the 9th turnover against the Bombers. Skidmore's been bailing out the Bombers. They have 10 of their own in the turnovers.
If you want to talk about the turnover battle, you look at the margins that these two teams are forcing turnovers and turning over the ball. Skidmore leads the league in that margin. They are averaging about 4 more turnovers, almost 5 more turnovers a game than their opponents. Ithaca at 3, they're first and second in that category. As Meyer with the finger roll, she's fouled by Yorio.
Been a lot of foul trouble for the Bombers. Yorio's going to pick up her 3rd as well, so she's going to have to come out of the game. And very close to the Bombers having back-to-back quarters with 5+ fouls. Zoraida has 2, Micah has 2. 3 of your top players in foul trouble coming up.
A huge loss for the Bombers, as we mentioned. Yorio with 17 rebounds yesterday to go along with 14 points. Her 4th double-double of the year is Meyer misses her first free throw, keeps it 28-25. Her second one goes down, so 29-25. 2 minutes and 37 seconds to go here from the Williamson Athletic Center here in half number 1. It's Dixon who hands it off for Iqbal Seta. On the far side now for Drevna. Gill almost couldn't get her hand on it. Now Dixon tries to drive towards the baseline, swings a pass out for Iqbal Seta, but that one hit the rim of the basket and bounced into a Skidmore hand. Iqbal Seta quickly picks it back up, though. They were looking for the long pass down the court. Drevna open 3, cash. Makes it a 1-point game, 29-28.
And 8 points for Drevna, shooting the ball very well from deep.
Drevna 2 for 3 from 3 now. They've been looking for her to heat up from beyond the arc. They're finally getting it here tonight. Meyer for Schneider on the inside. High block, and it's good. 31-28, Skidmore with the lead. Iqbal Seta, a hip-high dribble on her right side. Hands it off for Dixon on the near side wing. Iqbal Seta, open corner 3, just short, and Schneider has the rebound. She's hounded by Drevna and Watkins. Finally dishes it off to Meyer, who works it over the half-court line. At the straightaway 3, she's got space. Bounce pass to Levitz, Levitz over to Davidson. Here's Schneider now. Watkins takes it right out of her hands and finds Drevna, who's working quick the other way. Schneider tries to catch up. She throws up the layup, and she's fouled.
Man, Watkins just took that ball away immediately and kind of shocked everybody on Skidmore, and Drevna doing a good job, wasting no time coast to coast and forcing a foul.
Almost seemed like Schneider was just dribbling the ball a little bit too far away from her body. Got it a little bit high over the shoulders as Drevna knocks down her first free throw. 29-31, Ithaca trails, and drains her second. So 30-31. Thoroughbred still with the lead. Amelia Medola just checked back into this game. She'll be the guard to put it over the logo. Hands it off for Schneider on the far side wing. Schneider works into the low post. Now here's Levitz. Levitz way outside the three-point line. Bounce pass for Schneider on the baseline, and that one knocked out of bounds by Gill. Looked like Schneider kind of threw an elbow into the stomach of Gill. She bends over a little bit, and her teammates make sure she's all okay. Medola on the inbound. One of those players that didn't have any points against this Ithaca team last time. She finally finds Davidson, who throws up a 3 with 3 seconds on the shot clock. It hits the rim, but Watkins corrals it. Ikabalseta holds up the one on her finger and hands it to the near side. Drevna dribbles to her left. Now here's Ikabalseta in the near side corner. Goes baseline drive. Watkins mid-range jumper from the second hash, and it falls.
Nice ball movement from the Bombers. Now Skidmore will have one possession.
32-31. Bombers with the lead. It's Plage at the top of the key. Plage looking for somebody. Finally finds Schneider, and Watkins is burned. Schneider has the leg. 31-32 with 6 seconds. Can Ithaca knock another one down? Ikabalseta for Watkins. Now Drevna from 3, buzzer beater, no. So a 33-32 game, but a similar spot for the Bombers here. Coach Raymond not super happy with his team over there on the bench, but a very close game between these two teams, considering neither team has scored more than 66 points in the last 5 times they've played. Some promising offense.
And this is so similar to that playoff game last year. The way the halftime went, the way this game was going, it was neck and neck. Neither side has been able to give in. Both sides are doing one thing wrong. They're turning the ball over a bunch, but that's due to both teams being top 3 in steals. And what both teams are doing well is just being able to work in transition immediately and finding players to step up in big ways. Drevna having her way right now, and Meyer on the other side with 15.
Yeah, Drevna 2 for 4 from beyond the arc. She's got 8 points tonight. She is your points leader on the Bombers. And as for Skidmore, man, Madison Meyer, she's been special. 15 points. She's going to continue to be standout through that second half. Some players to watch out for. We're going to take a quick break here, but when we come back, half number 2 between the Bombers and the Skidmore Thoroughbreds. Stay tuned. We welcome you back inside the Williamson Athletic Center here on the campus of Skidmore College in Saratoga Springs, New York. It's the Bombers and the Thoroughbreds. 33-32 the score. Skidmore with the lead in a game that feels eerily similar to last year's semifinal in the Liberty League Conference Tournament. Rhianna DeCrow and Cam Manna with you the whole way. And Cam, I mean, we knew it could be anyone at any point in the night, but it's really been Madison Meyer and what she's been able to do from beyond the arc and in the interior as well.
Yeah, shooting 6 for 7 right now, just taking over. We've seen multiple times in transition, just going straight to her left side. A lot of confidence right now. And when you have a first half right now and you have the confidence to take the ball in your hands and control the pace of the basketball game, that's what you need here down the stretch. The Bombers have had multiple different players. Drevna shot the ball well, but right now there's one star on the court playing like a star, and that's Meyer.
And you look at the shot counts between the Bombers and the Thoroughbreds. Ithaca with 37 attempts from the floor and the Thoroughbreds with 28. So Ithaca out shooting the Thoroughbreds, but just not quite cashing in on as many baskets. It's the Thoroughbreds with the first possession as Schneider pulls up from deep. She can't hit, and Waite corrals it underneath the basket. She moves quick the other way, guarded by Meyer. On the near side now, swings it over to Ichabod-Setta at the straightaway. Rainbow pass to Watkins at the near side elbow. Now here's Ichabod-Setta on the far side, hands it straight into the hands of Emmy Plage. Just a miscommunication between Ichabod-Setta and Yorio as Meyer gets back to work. A slow pace so far, 33-32 with about 9 minutes to go. As Watkins gets the takeaway, Libby Micah falls to the floor. And it looks like it'll be a foul on Madison Meyer. A push.
Great job from Watkins picking up yet another steal, and a good job from Micah just diving towards the floor and kind of picked up the foul by diving, just tripping over a defender.
Micah hands it off to Waite on the near side of the court, and Waite dribbles it into the Ithaca offensive zone. Here's Waite from beyond the arc on the far side, hits the three early, and it's a 35-33 game. Bombers have the lead back early here in quarter number 3. Meyer works it quick the other way, drives down the lane, tries to go up the high lane, and Emma Waite gets too much of the arm on Madison Meyer. That'll be her third foul. Bombers with some foul trouble here.
And they need Waite in this basketball game just based on how big of shots she can hit late in games.
Meyer the dish to Emmy Plage, who just misses the lay off the glass. So Waite will move it quick the other way on the far side. Tries to rainbow it into Watkins, who was standing right underneath the basket, but Plage got a hand on it and takes it away. Meyer slows things down at the straightaway. She moves to her left side and hands it off for Davidson. Davidson trying to work it on Yorio. The bounce pass to Schneider on the near side. Now here's Chambers on the corner. She goes for the three. That one rings off the backboard, and Yorio has the ball. She takes a step out of bounds before she throws it to Ichabod-Setta.
Strong job from Skidmore right now. Just, yes, they've missed some shots on the floor, but just running hard to the basketball and miss shots.
Schneider shovels it off for Meyer, who tries to work into the painted area. Schneider straight back out for Schneider on the outside. A long-range jumper from the near side of the court makes it 35-35. Long pass over to Yorio off the glass, and she's fouled, but the basket doesn't fall. 8 minutes to go. It's 35-35, and Yorio will shoot for 2.
Nice shot from Yorio getting straight to her left side. That quick pump fake forces the foul. Free throws have been the one thing the Bombers didn't really get in that first half. 2 attempts to Skidmore's 9.
Yorio, the player on this Bomber basketball team that gets to the line more than anybody else because she works the interior so well. She drains her first free throw, makes it 36-35. And second goes down 37-35 with under 8 minutes to go in quarter number 3. Meyer takes her time working it over the timeline. Now to her right side, shovel pass for Chambers, who works it back to the left. She's at the straightaway 3, trying to find her teammate. Bounce past Schneider on the near side wing. Schneider now for Chambers, back outside at the straightaway 3. Watkins and Yorio switch, and Chambers has to bounce it off for Cassie Davidson. Davidson now to Schneider on the near side corner, and the hard defense from Annabella Yorio makes her mishandle the ball out of bounds.
Just strong defense on the interior there from the Bombers. That quick double team on that right block.
Here's Emma Waite. She's double teamed by Meyer and Schneider, and that leaves a couple Bombers all alone in their own offensive zone, but Ichabod will slow it down on the far side. She's about 10 feet out of that perimeter shooting area. She hands it off for Micah. Micah bounce pass to Watkins on the inside. She misses the lay on the reversal. Micah has the rebound. Jump shot doesn't fall. Watkins bats it away. And it just falls out of her hands and on the green painted area underneath the basket where the Skidmore logo is.
Man, multiple times you feel that possession is so promising. The ability for Watkins and Micah on the rebound just can't hit the bunny hook.
Ithaca, the best team in the Liberty League in terms of offensive rebounds. They're out-rebounding Skidmore in their own offensive area, 8-5 right now. Winning the rebound battle overall, 223-20 in favor of the Bombers as Chambers works it to her right side, hands it off for Schneider, who tries the mid-range jumper from the low block extended. And she misses. That one falls out of bounds. Meyer on the inbound, shovels it to Chambers on the near side, hands it right back off for Meyer. Now here's Chambers beyond the arc on the far side of the court. Yorio has the takeaway. Yorio with 3 steals in this one now. Here's Ichabod on the far side, 3-ball rings short, and Meyer corrals it underneath. Couple of missed shots early here for either side as Meyer drives straight down the lane. Micah rejects her. Ball in the hands of Ichabod as she ties up Meyer, goes behind her back, and finally works it into the half court. Wade on the near side beyond the arc. She works just into the painted area now underneath the basket. Throws it back out for Ichabod. Now here's Yorio on the near side. Back to Ichabod. Bounce pass Watkins. Tries to find Micah and throws it out of bounds.
It seems like Dan Raymond telling Watkins to keep the ball higher level away from her chest and hip area. It's causing a lot of steals. That ball got tipped before that pass can get to Micah. She was wide open on that right block.
Almost 30 turnovers here in this game. 15 from Skidmore, 14 from the Bombers. And they're almost going to get another one there, a jump ball, as Schneider couldn't keep it in her hands securely. Possession arrow in favor of the Bombers. This Skidmore press can get incredibly frustrating as well. Foul trouble we spoke about during the break, Cam, might play a factor in this one.
Huge factor, especially free throws down the stretch. That was a big factor last year.
Dixon checks in, Drevna checks in. She works it down the far side, tries to throw up a jumper. That one doesn't fall. Here's Yorio on the far side. Now for Dixon, on the far side wing. Yorio has it now. She opts for the dribble. Now finally finds Ichabod on the near side. Micah trying to work in on Chambers, turns and fires, no good. 37-35 with 5 minutes to go is Plage working quick to the low block. Ichabod is on her though. Throws a pass over her head to Meyer at the straightaway 3. She backs up to the Skidmore logo and calls out a couple plays. They run into each other, her and Plage. And now she finally dishes it off for Schneider. Schneider at the near side elbow. Schneider for Davidson now, who attempts the 3. That one skims out. Drevna has the rebound. Now here's Ichabod down the far side of the court. Bounce pass to Drevna. Drevna back to Ichabod. Little teardrop of a pass to Micah, who's on the high post. Across the court to Dixon. Now Dixon to Micah on the far side. Micah all the way long pass to Drevna. That one poked away by Meyer and out of bounds. Meyer doing a good job breaking up the plays of the Bombers.
Dangerous cross-court pass, though, there.
Drevna finally finds Gill, who just checked in. 3-ball, falls straight through. 40-35, Bombers with the lead.
And Dan Raymond's cracking up. He just checked in Gill, and Gill immediately, play drawn up, splashes a 3.
Gill 1 for 1 from beyond the arc in this one so far. She's had 2 games with 10 in a row. As Davidson throws up a teardrop, that one misses the basket completely. And with just about under 4 minutes to go, the Bombers lead 40-35. Ichabod works to the far side of the court. Shovel pass to Gill, who throws it over her head for Yorio. Yorio working to the top of the key. Now back to the high post. That ball ripped away by Emmy Plage. And Yorio picks up a foul.
Yeah, Yorio, just that arm hook, trying to cause some separation and a straight too much shove from Yorio, that right arm extending.
So Yorio has 4. She'll be forced to check out of this game. Martinez checks in for the Thoroughbreds as she works towards the low post. From the free throw line, tries to throw up a shot, and Ikabalseta gets a hand on it, so Dixon has the ball. Dixon to Payne now on the far side of the court, back to Dixon. They'll play pass back in 4th, and finally Ikabalseta has it at the straightaway 3. Now for Gill on the low free throw line extended. Now here's Dixon on the far side. Dixon for Drevna from the free throw line, pulls up and just rings that one in and out. And Jill Payne will pick up a foul, a push.
Tough miss there, just in and out from that free throw stripe from Drevna. And Payne, as we mentioned for Yorio, the foul, so Payne now has to play a very tall position down low.
Bombers already with 2 fouls here in this quarter as Martinez spots up and misses that one. Payne manages to rip it down and hand it off to Dixon. She works it across the half-court line, bounce pass to Ikabalseta on the far side. She's well beyond the perimeter. Now here's Gill working towards the high block. She throws up a layup and she's fouled. She'll have 2.
Gill just a really good job at that free throw line. Her quick step is phenomenal and just finds that right side, puts up a shot, that quick fade, drew the foul extremely well, and gets to the free throw line. The Bombers doing a much better job in this second half, third quarter, getting to the line.
Gill a quiet 5.5 points per game. She's 6th on the team in that category, but the only freshman on this Bomber team that sees real minutes as she knocks down her first free throw. She's got 8 tonight. Goes 2 for 2 from the stripe, makes it 42-35 Bombers with 2.5 minutes on the clock here in quarter number 3. Skidmore works it left to right. It's Martinez dribbling on her left side. And a push by Maddie Gill.
Yeah, Gill was a little bit too slow to her right, so had to put her hands out. Clear foul there against the Bombers.
14 fouls now for the Bombers, so Skidmore in the bonus. Here's Levitz to her right side, handoff Martinez. Martinez at the free throw stripe, spots up and misses. Jill Payne has the basketball and hands it off for Drevna on the near side of the court. Drevna dribbles with her right side and moves to the far side corner. Quick pass for Dixon on the high post. Dixon now to the low block on the near side. Now here's Payne. Bombers swinging it around the horseshoe. Gill with the 3 ball from the far side corner. It misses completely. 32-35 Bombers with 1:45 to go. Here's Levitz at the low block. Banks it off the glass and in. First shot made in a while for the Thoroughbreds. They were scoreless for 6 whole minutes before that as Drevna pulls up from 3 from the far side wing, and she's got 11 so far tonight. Drevna 3 for 5 from 3.
And Drevna and Gill just spot up shooters off the bench.
45-37 Ithaca as Martinez works into the lane. Now hands it back outside the arc for Levitz. Back to Martinez on the near side corner. Martinez bounce pass for Chambers, who's had a quiet night. She's the scoring leader on this Thoroughbreds team. Martinez works the low block again, tries to throw up a shot off the glass, and Dixon fouls her.
Strong drive there from Martinez to her right. Dixon kind of did keep her hands in the air. She's talking to the referee, maybe a little bit too much body initially, but tough draw there for the Bombers.
So Martinez will shoot for 2. She doesn't have any points so far tonight, but she drains her first, so give her her first. Martinez, 5.6 points per game, just the freshman. One of the only freshmen on this Thoroughbreds team that sees real minutes. And she knocks down her second. So make it 45-39 Bombers with the lead with just about a minute to go.
And this is where the Bombers have to close out this third quarter strong, keep it where it is right now at the 6-point lead.
Big rainbow pass to Jill Payne beyond the half-court line. Payne handoff for Drevna, who pump fakes the three and then hands it off for Waite. Waite at the straightaway, directing traffic. Now bounce pass to Micah on the high post. She tries a floater and is fouled. Knocked down by Sarah Chambers.
The confidence from Micah there, immediately gets it on the interior, feels some room to her right, that quick jab step and a fade. She's been short on a lot of these shots, but gets fouled there and does a nice job staying in midair long enough.
And something that Dan Raymond said about Libby Micah as she makes her first is, you know, during Annabella Yorio's injury, she was really able to step up and play some big minutes, and she really did emerge during that time. She can jump, she can shoot. She's only 5'10", so a little bit undersized for that forward position, but she plays much taller than she is, extremely athletic. She drains her second, makes it 47-39 with about 30 seconds to go. Here's Madola. Right at the top of the key, she's almost dispossessed by Drevna. Now Chambers to Schneider. Bounce pass to Chambers, trying to work it into the interior. Good job by the Bomber defense. Levitz beyond the arc. She's at the straightaway. Now here's Madola. Pull up from the top of the key. No good. And Payne almost has the rebound, but Chambers has it in her hand. Levitz, another three ball. That one rings out. And Micah is shoved by Severino.
And Levitz almost just hit another just wild three-pointer, almost flashbacks there for the Bombers based on last year's semifinal game. She hit the three-pointer, as we mentioned earlier, to close out that game. That was very similar, a rebound out, even though it's the third quarter. Just a very similar possession there for Skidmore.
Levitz last year was touted as that woman who could make the big shots, as Micah is short on her first free throw. And man, she's been struggling a little bit from three this year. She's got just a few made. She had 5 points against Vassar and 3 versus Bard. So having more of a quiet season than last year. Schneider, the bounce pass to Madola. Bombers in the full court press. Hands it off for Schneider, who can't get it in her hands. It goes right through her arms like a field goal. And out of bounds with 5 seconds on the clock here in quarter number 3. Bombers with the 48-39 lead. Drevna for Waite, who throws it up. Nope, she'll hand it off for Dixon. Long-range jumper doesn't fall. Micah had the rebound, but the buzzer will sound. A good job by this Ithaca offense of finally clicking a little bit more in this defense, being able to shut down Skidmore's offense.
Yeah, the Bombers only shot 30% from the floor, but they held Skidmore to 15%, 2 for 13. Skidmore did not make 1 3 and just 2 free throw attempts, so everything the Bombers probably talked about at the halftime break showed right there. Avoid Skidmore going to the free throw line, check. Have them stop at the three-pointers, check, and then play strong defense on the interior. The Bombers did all that. What a third quarter. They outscore Skidmore by 10 in that quarter, and that's a large part for this lead.
And you've seen those turnovers, too, kind of dissipate as well. The Bombers figuring out a way to get that breakout out of the half court, and it's really been slowing this Skidmore offense down. Completely
slowed them down right now, and it stopped Meyer from working in transition. Meyer only took 2 shots in that whole entire third quarter, so she's been neutralized. And the Bombers, just multiple different players stepping up right now. Gill, limited minutes off the bench, big shots. Same with Drevna. Your 2 leading scorers right now are your bench players that are really the 7th and 8th women off the bench. So big games from Gill and Drevna when it matters most.
And, you know, we talked to Coach Bostic before this game, Cam. First season with Skidmore, so obviously you can have some trouble sometimes with buy-in, but he said that this Skidmore team has really bought into what he's trying to do, that full court press, sort of a new strategy they're implementing this year, and they like to have their defense turn into offense, but like I said, the Bombers doing a really good job on the breakout. And
Skidmore, they condition a whole bunch. Their first 20 minutes of practice, it's straight running for this team, and that plays a part in what they do bring to the table, that full court press, that run and gun offense, and there's no fatigue from our angle really from this Skidmore team based on how they're conditioned and ready to go. The Bombers also, though, a very conditioned team.
The buzzer sounds for the fourth quarter. It'll be Martinez, Meyer, Schneider, and Davidson and Chambers on the floor. As for the Bombers, Waite, Ichabal-Seta, Micah, Dixon, and Drevna. Just 10 more minutes of basketball here from the Williamson Athletics Center. The Bombers trying to break a 4-game streak winless against the Thoroughbreds. As Meyer works it to the far side, she dribbles with her right hand, throws up a layup off the glass, and she's fouled by Micah.
Well, we immediately just talked about how Meyer was quiet in that third quarter. What a jolt there, and I'm not sure what that play even was. Meyer just ran from the right wing to the left wing and then drove the whole entire time and just took it herself the whole entire way.
We've seen her do that a couple times tonight, so she'll pick up a couple of points there. She nails the and one. 18 points for Meyer so far in this game. She's had a 14-point season high before this, so a new record for her this year. Micah at the straightaway 3. She goes to her left side and back out for Ichabod-Seta at the 3. Now here's Dixon from straightaway. That one rings in and out. And Waite has the rebound. She's double teamed by 2 Skidmore defenders though. Here's Dixon all alone at the straightaway. Bounce pass to Drevna at the free throw line. Hands it off for Ichabod-Seta. Skidmore defense being incredibly pesky right now. Waite on the near side corner. Baseline drive. Floats one in. Makes it 50-42. With 9 minutes to go here in quarter number 4.
And Waite, the offensive rebound and the floater on that possession.
Meyer on the far side wing, pulls up from 3, and an air ball. Long pass down to Libby Micah at the end of the basketball court. She mishandles the ball. Martinez with the takeaway. She's gonna try and work it coast to coast, but stops, and Micah lays the shoulder into her. Sort of an unfortunate foul there because Martinez was going all the way to the other side of the court, then changed direction, so Micah will pick up her 4th foul and be checked out by Maddie Gill.
It's an unfortunate foul because it's not like Micah reached in. It was just Martinez kind of lost control, and Micah was right there kind of reaching, so it was just a tough collision.
Trying to get the steal from behind, didn't know when she was going to get back up. Maybe trying to play a little bit of surprise as Meyer, guarded by Gill, rainbows a pass to Schneider, who is patient for her shot. That one off the glass and long. Now here's Martinez from 3, swirls it in. 50-45 with 8.5 minutes to go. Ichabod-Seta on the far side wing, overhead pass to Drevna on the near side wing. Trying to set up a play here. Ichabod-Seta had stopped her dribble. She's on her pivot foot, and Meyer poked it out of bounds out of the hands of Drevna. Skidmore defense seems like they have a little bit more intensity right now.
A lot more intensity, and they've been able to really clog the lanes, but the Bombers' passing has almost been too much at times.
Here's Waite on the near side corner. Dribbles to her right side, straight to the free throw line, passes it out for Gill. She's fouled. That'll be on Madison Meyer, her 3rd personal.
And you don't want Meyer getting one more here in the next minute. Final 7, she'll have to play with 1 foul. Still has a few more to give, but tough spot for her.
Meyer the scoring leader. She has 14 as Gill gets it at the free throw stripe. Bounce pass for Drevna, bangs it off the glass and just long. So Chambers has it now. And Davidson pulled up. Schneider ripped down the rebound and she was fouled. Fouled by Junie Dixon.
A good possession for the Bombers offensively, just no finish. Drevna missing right under the basket. Waite comes out, Yorio comes in. Yorio is playing, though, with those 4 fouls.
And 3 team fouls already for the Bombers, so getting themselves in bonus trouble. Down the stretch, Meyer works right through Ichabod-Seta and Yorio. Could have been an offensive, but instead, it'll be Maddie Gill who fouls Schneider.
Yorio was right in the area, too. She almost had a sigh of relief that they gave the foul to Gill. Gill, though, not in that, crazy foul trouble. She's just going to pick up what looks like her 2nd foul. No, excuse me, her 3rd, so she is getting towards foul trouble.
18 fouls for the Bombers so far in this game as Meyer on the near side wing is almost tripped up by Yorio. She works into the high block and is fouled again. Bombers can't do anything to stop Madison Meyer without fouling her. It'll be Maddie Gill again, her 4th.
And Meyer's just fiery right now. She kind of loves that this game's becoming her game. It's on her shoulders right now to make a lot of big plays down the stretch.
Meyer, the junior, she'll shoot for 2. Nails her first. Excuse me, it was just short there. A season high for Madison Meyer. 11 points last night against Bard, so a confidence builder there, and she's showing it tonight against Ithaca. Here's Ichabod-Setta. Meyer made her second free throw, makes it 50-46 with 7.5 minutes to go. Ichabod-Setta on the far side corner. Bounce pass to Watkins. Watkins guarded by 2 Skidmore defenders. Back to Watkins. Here's Dixon driving to the lane. That one just tips in. 52-46 with 7 minutes to go. Martinez for Schneider. Schneider pump fakes the long range jumper on the near side. She won't go. Now a rainbow pass for Meyer. Drevna almost had it. She overran it. Bounce pass for Martinez as Meyer was shoved from behind from Yorio. No foul call. Martinez tries to drive the lane now at the low block. The finger roll doesn't fall, and the putback by Davidson. Excuse me, that'll be on Cassie Davidson on the other side of the floor, so the Bombers catch a bit of a break there.
And it seems like Coach Bostic cannot believe it. He thinks that the Bombers may have also had an over-the-back foul, and he didn't want to call either way.
Davidson's first foul, so she's well out of trouble. And Skidmore's second of this quarter. Drevna dribbles behind her back at the straightaway and passes it to Yorio. Now here's Watkins at the free throw stripe. Drevna has an open look from 3 on the near side wing. That one rings out. Watkins has the offensive rebound, and she gets fouled on the putback.
Just these extra possessions for the Bombers, the offensive rebounds, they were leading 8-5 at one point. Now it's back to more of an even margin, 11-10 for the Bombers. But just an extra offensive rebound and getting to the free throw line when you're up like this late can do so much for a team.
And trying not to get frustrated too. Obviously this Skidmore defense is playing incredibly intense right now. You can see it in the way they're moving. So many steps out there on the floor, just playing for everything they got. As Watkins drains her first free throw. Watkins had a great night last night as well. 10 points. She's seen a little decrease in scoring this year as she nails her second. Was just about at that 10-point mark in scoring last year per game and has dropped that to just about 8. But doing wonders in the rebounding category, she leads the team. Martinez to her left side, bounce pass for Schneider. Ichabod-Setta fouls her.
What a dart of a pass there from Martinez, just doing a good job hesitating, backpedaling in the pick and roll, finding separation, then darting that pass down low. Really good possession, and Skidmore now finally forces a foul.
They'll actually call that foul on Junie Dixon, who wasn't even in the general area of the shot of Schneider. Schneider drains her first. She's got 3 points tonight. Makes it a 54-48 game as she nails her second with 6 minutes and 15 seconds to go. Emma Waite dribbles on her right side about hip height, now to her left. Throws a pass to Yorio at the top of the key. Waite all alone on the far side wing. That one rings off short. And Yorio has the offensive rebound, fighting for it with Plage. And they'll call it a jump ball. The possession arrow in favor of the Bombers.
And the Bombers bench loves it. Yorio into it, holding onto that basketball. Ithaca just igniting their own energy here on the road.
Instead, they'll call Cassie Davidson for her second foul. So Ithaca now in the bonus as well. Here's Ichabod-Setta at the near side corner. Now Emma Waite driving down the lane. Kick out pass for Watkins on the far side, and she's fouled. Skidmore playing intense defense, but the referee's starting to catch some of that physicality.
Little bit of a reach there from Skidmore, but almost something that you would like for both teams to play through, but they're being consistent. Those have been fouls all night. There's been a lack of play-through mentality based on what we saw last night at RPI with that crew.
Watkins will shoot 2 more, and she makes her first, so she's 5 for 5 from the stripe tonight. Makes it 55-48. Watkins has 7 points and make it 8. 6 for 6 from the stripe, having a good night from the free throw line.
And getting to the free throw line, too, for the Bombers. That first half, just 2 free throw attempts. Bombers have now 12 free throw attempts in this whole entire second half.
Trying to force shots through sometimes plays in your favor. Martinez, a really good pass to Schneider, who was on the low block. And that one banged out of bounds by an Ithaca defender. 56-48 with just under 6 minutes to go. Skidmore trying to put this game within reach. Martinez on the inbound looking for someone. She finds Schneider on the near side. Schneider off to Martinez again. The shovel pass as she dribbles with her right side, now to her left. Watkins is guarding her. She drives down the lane. The finger roll reverse layup doesn't fall. A couple times we've seen these Skidmore offenders just try and do it all themselves. Waite throws it into Watkins, who's on the low block, off the glass, just short, and Drevna can't get it. So Skidmore will have the breakout yet again. Long range pass for Levitz, who was waiting on the near side corner all the way across court. Maybe not the smartest option there.
And Drevna doing a really good job trailing to tip that out of bounds. Now it forces Skidmore to have to reset under their own basket. But where that ball was tipped out, it's going to force Skidmore to inbound in the corner.
Getting into that zone defense nice and quick for the Bombers. Here's Schneider at the straightaway three. Martinez pulls up from the near side wing from deep and rings it just short.
And it hit the top of the basket area towards the scores clock, so a violation.
Drevna on the inbound finds Ikabalseta. She's guarded by Levitz, the full court press. Skidmore slowing down a little bit. Here's Yorio at the top of the key. Moves to the high post now for Waite, who's baseline driving. Watkins at the low block. She's fouled. Another foul for Cassie Davidson. She's picked up those 3 fouls pretty quick here in this fourth quarter.
And Watkins, we mentioned it, 8 points, but 6 of them at the line. Just really making her mark here late in this game at the free throw line, forcing fouls.
Cassie Davidson, too, just ended up on the wrong side of those fouls a couple times. She's incredibly skilled in terms of her perception of the ball. 26 steals on the year, that's 6 in the Liberty League. As Watkins drains her first free throw, makes it 57-48, nearly a 10-point game. Just misses her second one short. So she's 7 for 8 from the line with 8 points tonight. As Levitz works it over the logo, bounce pass to Martinez on the near side. Martinez between her legs, dribbling with her left, trying to keep it away from Ikabalseta so she can't take it away. Martinez now driving to the free throw line. Hands it off for Schneider, now Levitz on the far side. Levitz to her left, and Martinez will drive down the lane yet again. Kick out pass for Levitz from beyond the arc from the far side. She can't hit it, and Chambers will try and keep it in bounds. Can't do it. Chambers, one of those players for Skidmore who's been really quiet tonight. Coach Bostic said she's been the leader for this Skidmore team. If anyone needs to know what to do, she's the one that they turn to first, but no points for the senior tonight.
And on just one shot as well, she's just been bottled up.
Waite pulls up from 3 and can't hit. Drevna corrals the rebound, so another offensive rebound for the Bombers. Overhead pass to Watkins, and she's fouled.
They're going to call it on the floor, but either way, they're going to get 2. Looked like one referee initially said the floor, so they're going to call it a shooting foul.
Watkins nails her first. Having a good night from the stripe. (58-48), and that one swirls out, so it'll stay that way with 4 minutes to go, but the Bombers have the rebound. Ikabalseta overhead pass to Watkins, who kicks it out for Drevna on the far side wing. Now here's Waite to Yorio at the high block. She drives to the high block and can't hit her layup. Schneider turned her away. 1 second on the shot clock as Drevna tries to hit a 3. No rebound from the Bombers, and Meyer on the breakout. 3 minutes and 33 seconds to go. A quick pass in the paint, and Schneider lays it off the glass, makes it 58-50.
Phenomenal job there from Meyer in transition. Picks up her 4th assist, but she's been out of the game for so long because she has those 4 fouls. So Coach Bostic had to play it smart with Meyer. Your most dominant player right now, but you need her here for the final 3:30. So they have a chance with Meyer in the game, but Meyer now has to be very strategic about how she's playing defense. You only have one foul to play with.
Yeah, nearly 20 points as well as 3 steals and 3 assists. So she's been doing it all on all sides. She's quick on defense, quick on offense, not someone you want to lose. And, you know, we talked about it a little bit, but the Skidmore team doesn't really have a player that jumps off the page at you. It can really be anyone at any night. And that can be incredibly hard to scout if you're Dan Raymond. Yeah,
it's multiple players that are right around that 7-8 point per game mark. And you don't really see that often for teams that are, you know, considered one of the top teams in the conference. More of a down year here for Skidmore to begin under a new head coach, but still a lot of talent. And when you have a new way of playing basketball, it sometimes allows for different players and how they adapt to a different way and a different play style after most of these players, including Meyer, being a part of the Jessica Turner system for so many years.
Jessica Turner, the previous head coach of this program, coached for 6 seasons. Just decided to get out of coaching this year, so David Bostic takes over, trying to implement his system here at this Skidmore team, which includes that full court press. They're in it now as Iqbal Seta works in on Levitz. Waite mishandles it, and Iqbal Seta tried to, you know, do a quick pass off to her. She just can't keep it in her hands. So a turnover for the Bombers. 34 turnovers in this game. 18 for Skidmore. They lead the league in that category. Meyer passes it to Schneider at the straightaway 3. She's looking for one of her teammates. Now she tries for the dribble. Levitz with it now at the low block. She stops her dribble and tries to find Schneider on the interior, but Waite and Yorio poke it away. Now Emma Waite directing traffic. She moves to the far side of the court and passes it over her head to Drevna on the far side wing. Here's Yorio at the straightaway, looking over her head. Dribbles with her left hand. Now here's Waite on the near side wing. Waite to her left side to the low post. And now Iqbal Seta, bounce pass for Watkins, up over the arms of Chambers. She's fouled. Watkins doing a really good job of drawing the fouls against the Skidmore defense.
That's a tough one there. Once again, it's a consistent foul, but Chambers, not much that she can do. Her hands are straight in the air as Watkins makes the first. It seems like last night, with a different refereeing crew, that's going to be a no call.
Chambers, the tallest player on the Skidmore roster at 6'1", Watkins at 5'11". Tallest player on Ithaca, 6 foot tall, that's Annabella Yorio. Watkins makes her second and makes it a 10-point game, 60-50, with 2.5 minutes to go as Meyer moves to the high block, tries for the finger roll, can't finesse it in. And Yorio has the rebound. Yorio with 12 rebounds this evening. And a timeout called by Dan Raymond. 2 minutes and 14 seconds to go here in this rivalry matchup, and this Skidmore team, a 10-point deficit. I'd like to say they're out of this game, but Cam, you and I have seen multiple times throughout our college careers here at Ithaca that neither team is ever out of this game with 2 minutes to go.
Skidmore made a run in the conference championship 2 years ago when they were in Ithaca's gym. They were down late, they crawled back, they won the basketball game. Yes, a different team, a different type of year, but you really never know, and especially with how Madison Myers had a lot of sparks. Yes, she has slowed down here in the second half. She has that ability to take over, maybe a 3 or so from Davidson if she can bring something to the table. But credit to the Bombers right now, just playing an afternoon of basketball where they've done a lot wrong. So much foul trouble, 21 fouls. You don't often win the game with 3 players with 4 fouls and the amount of turnovers they had with 17. But they also did so much right to cancel it out.
And doing a really good job down the stretch as well, with a couple of players that are in foul trouble being disciplined, being able to keep those players in. Keeping Yorio on the floor is an important thing to do. Keeping Micah on the floor is important. Iqbal Seta as well, trying to play discipline. She's got 3 fouls as well tonight, so trying to keep herself in this ball game. Waite moves to the far side of the court as we're back underway after the timeout, about 2 minutes to go. Yorio on the far side knocks over Severino, and it'll be back to Yorio on the far side wing. Overhead pass to Drevna at the high post. She pulls up and misses an air ball. So 60-50 it'll stay with, now under 2 minutes to go.
And Cassie Davidson's going to come back in. Just a really good sharpshooter. Began the game with 2 threes in that first quarter. So we'll see how she can maybe spark something.
Cassie Davidson, one of those scorers that averages about 7 points per game. And Iqbal Seta gets the takeaway from Meyer. Yorio will throw it over to Iqbal Seta on the near side wing. Now here's Waite with the reset. Wait for Watkins. They'll pass it back and forth and try and set up their play. Waite all the way back at the Skidmore logo. Now hands it off for Iqbal Seta. Swings a pass to Waite on the near side corner. Baseline drive to Watkins. Nearly can't handle it. Can't handle it. Iqbal Seta picks it up. Waite mid-range jumper from the near side corner. Doesn't hit it, but Yorio has the rebound. Bombers reset with 16 on the shot clock. Now here's Yorio all alone on the near side corner. 3, bangs it in. 63-50. The Bombers with the lead, and there's a minute to go here from the Williamson Athletic Center.
And a timeout for Skidmore, and the dagger there from Yorio. Bombers get a rebound from Yorio, slow things down. Skidmore forgot about her, wide open from 3. Has began to shoot the 3 a little bit here in 2025, and wide open, knocked it down, and the Bomber bench absolutely loved it.
Yeah, hadn't made a shot from 3 before this year, and suddenly she's been pulling up a couple times. We saw it in a few of her games during that Christmas break time where she was just pulling up from 3 and being incredibly confident when she needed to make those shots. And, you know, when you open up those options for Annabella Yorio, she's going to give you a chance to score.
And what she's been able to do today and even last night, the rebounds, being able to box out, control the momentum on the defensive and offensive side, big part of this team and coming to life when it matters most. Struggled mightily at the beginning of this season was Yorio, and now back to the ways where Dan Raymond and everybody expects her to be, and that's a successful high-level basketball player.
Very much one of those vocal leaders on this team, has had to play some big minutes and playing a big role in that post position as the Bombers look to pick up their 8th win in the Liberty League. That would tie Vassar in wins for the Liberty League. They beat Bard today, so they sit in an 8-2 record. Bombers would be 8-1 with a game on them, obviously, to play.
And they beat Vassar as well, the head-to-head.
So a tie break, no matter what happens, but we'll see what turns out down the stretch. It would be Union that would hand Vassar their 2nd loss of the season, as Meyer works all the way around Drevna, now hands it off for Schneider on the near side. She pulls up and jumps, and it looks like Severino and Iqbal Seta got a little tangled up, exchanging some words. Iqbal Seta wipes herself off and hands the ball off to Waite. Drevna throws one over to Iqbal Seta. The Bombers trying to burn the clock. Now here's Yorio at the top of the key. The Bombers playing keep away. Here's Watkins. Throws it to Waite at the top of the key. Drevna pulls up from 3 on the near side, just short. And Skidmore. Here's Meyer pulling up from the free throw line. Kicks it out to Levitz and splashes it in. 63-53 with 11 seconds on the clock, and one of those too little too late moments.
Yeah, Coach Bostic will still try to burn a timeout here. You're in foul trouble, so you have to foul here. You're going to immediately put the Bombers in the bonus. Going to be 1-and-1s. They're going to have to miss some free throws. It's going to be pretty much impossible for this whole entire thing to come back in favor of Skidmore.
And a 8-1 record for the Bombers in the Liberty League obviously will put them on the top of that category. Skidmore will move to 5-5. Man, it's a neck-and-neck race for that, 4th and 5th spot in that Liberty League Conference tournament. You look at St. Lawrence, who's sitting at 5-4 right now. Obviously, looking at the outcome of their game as well, you got to consider that. RIT at 6-2, having a turnaround season. Union trails Vassar. They have a 7-2 record in the Liberty League tournament. So Bombers currently own that 1st seed, and they would have hosting rights for the entire Liberty League tournament, something that they didn't have last year. And, that can play a big factor. We know what Ben Light Gymnasium looks like in that playoff atmosphere. This Skidmore gym as well last year was incredibly challenging to play in. The crowd showed up and showed out.
Yeah, huge challenge, and especially when the Bombers fans and all the students pack into Ben Light for a playoff game, that is an extremely tough place to play, and it bothered the Bombers last year when they were here on the road against Skidmore. That plays just a huge case for a team to really have that extra boost in playoff basketball.
And Skidmore actually leads the league in attendance on the women's side of the floor. So lots of Skidmore fans showing up for their women's basketball team. Skidmore trying to get back to that place where they were in the conference championship last year. Just lost to Vassar, just fell short. Still made it into the NCAA tournament regardless. But again, they're kind of in a similar spot to Ithaca as Emma Wade is fouled by Madison Meyer. That'll be her 5th, so she'll check out of this game. Andy Levitz will replace her.
And a strong night for Meyer, trying to do just a lot for this basketball team, slow it up a little bit. Had a ton of fouls that came down the stretch, but her second quarter was phenomenal.
Waite puts her first free throw dead center, makes it 64-53. Meyer with a season-high 19 points. Waite throws up her second and makes it. So 65-53 and another timeout for Coach Bostic.
I have not seen many coaches down by 12 points here with 7 seconds still calling timeouts. It's almost mathematically impossible to win this game, but he's showing that fight, trying to just even give as a new coach with a new team every possession you can take and just trying to put something together in any moment. Opportunities will play a lot here as the season goes on, so Skidmore having just extra chances, but you don't see timeouts this late in the game with this score differential often.
And Cam, it could be one of those moments where Coach Bostic sees this as an opportunity to play out, hey, if we are in a playoff game coming down the stretch and, we do need to make a big basket with 7 seconds on the clock in the playoffs or wherever it may be, this is a really good opportunity to try and execute that and practice that play. So it'll be Levitz on the inbound on the far side next to the Skidmore bench. Handoff for Levitz. She's at the straightaway 3. Davidson tries for the screen. Levitz throws up the hook shot, hits the corner of the square on the glass and goes in. And that'll do it here for the Williamson Athletic Center on the women's side. A 65-55 score, so nobody breaks that 66-point mark that they've kept themselves. These defenses playing incredibly strong, and for the Bombers, their 8th Liberty League win, they'll take the solo position at the top of the Liberty League, first place.
Just a really big win, and the Bombers, once again, they start from behind, they keep it close, down by 1 at the half, crawl back, take control, win this game towards that double-digit mark. Different game from last night, but to beat this Skidmore team and just any Skidmore team, to snap that 4-game losing streak is a big monkey to get off the back of the Bombers.
And Dan Raymond said, it's starting to come together. These two teams will meet again. This isn't the end for them. They'll see each other on the weekend of February 8th and 9th inside of Ben Light Gymnasium. And myself and Lucas Orlovitz will be on the call for that game, so make sure you tune in on Bombers Live. But that's going to do it from the women's side. Cam will take over for the men's when we come back from the Williamson Athletic Center. Thanks so much for listening.